This wizard in general is considered extremely powerful and very dangerous. The mightier the wizard, the less of you there are. Grindelwald, for example, is one of the few wizards that can match and rival Dumbledore to some degree. Heck, even when Dumbledore was young and not an old man like we saw in the Harry Potter films, that alone should make you respect him, but let's get right into it. A wizard that can do all kinds of stuff like heal injuries even without a wand in his hand, can literally grab memories out of your head, erasing them. He's a skilled dark wizard that has such skills with teleportation, be able to maneuver fast. It's almost like, what's the point of broom travel when it comes to him? Swiftly from one place to another. It's just that simple. He's one of those characters that use it during combat to get out of scenarios. This obscurest entity, he was avoiding attacks from this entity. Kind of reminds me of Speed on how they move and turn the range that you're using against you. The farther we get in this video, the more you're going to understand how much of a threat he is. Magicians in this universe actually can do stuff magic-wise without their wands, but their wands help them focus their power. Like in this occasion, he was literally in disguise. You don't see no wands in his hands, but he's still able to pull this suitcase closer to him. He kind of reminds me of Dumbledore in that way, on how he can do magic and do stuff without wands and still be a threat. When it comes to reflex, he can deflect spells even when he's not looking. We've seen him react to spells this way. Reflexes. His reaction is actually pretty freaking impressive. It's actually easy for him at this point. He's mighty with the dark arts and a powerful dark arts practitioner. Yep. There is something or entity that will instantly kill normal people. He has higher resistance to certain stuff more than normal humans, obviously, because other beings just get one shot. But when you notice he gets attacked, he doesn't just die instantly. It's obvious he has extra defense. Shooting from all these magicians while countering at the same time when he was pretending to be somebody else, obviously. Good example of his defense right here. You can see him shooting from all these magicians or wizards at the same time, for a little bit at least. And it has some cracks in the shield, as you can see. He even has other defensive spells that's so advanced that it would even disintegrate beings that are not loyal to him. See, they have some unloyalty to him, you see? I know this is a defensive type of dark art, but it can blast you and disintegrate you from far distance as well. Long range defensive type crap. One could say on top of this, it can be a form of blast power as well, because even after he leaves, it makes like this giant flaming dragon type thing. When it comes to Haxy defensive resistance type spells, you can't just simply read his mind to know his intentions based on the writer. You guys already know the deal. Wizards specialize in blast power, not necessarily their muscles or punches in the Harry Potter verse. Their magic is what's crazy. So one can say their knowledge with how to use the arts and stuff can help as well. Have y'all ever seen a magician with low IQ? Like, you know what I mean? Since the movies he's in takes place in newer stuff, he has a lot of flashy, destructive type of feats that we see on screen, like incinerating being. Blast power to do this on the inside of a building. Can shoot full-blown blasts of concussive force against other magicians like Newt, who's a decent wizard on his own. It's like shooting shotgun blasts. When you see how his blasts affect the environment or concrete, it's like explosions. Seems to be able to project electricity down this railroad thing to overwhelm certain magicians. It seems like he can just spam it over and over again to overwhelm beings with this electricity. Yeah, and can technically control natural lightning to use in combat if you wish to electrocute you or fry you that way. He can blast wands out of your hands and then incinerate the wands themselves. Seems to have some water manipulation to where he can kind of fill up the entire carriage with these beings in it. Like, bruh, what? Remember how earlier I briefly brought up the shield that had fire that would hurt anybody that's not loyal to him if they try to get close, and how he can make a dragon kind of on some blast power type stuff? How powerful is the dragon he can produce?
All Paris will be destroyed.
Yes, you heard that correctly. These flaming, fiery, flying dragon things that he created. It was literally threatening all of Paris. The thought of any wizard having the ability to create fire, dragon, protection type spell blast that can destroy the entirety of Paris. Just with the wave of his wand. He can flip cars at you, so this stuff ain't surprising. He can still do telekinetic type stuff with ease. Do you respect his strength yet, or just blast power in general? Another good way of how much blunt blast power he can produce is to look at what other wizards can do, considering he's pretty high up there on the food chain. Big chunks of mountains, these wizards can break a piece of it apart. He knows the dark art just like his supporters do, like the fact he did the Crucius curse, aka a torturing type of curse. Notice the green aura with these curses. It's implied that he knows the Avada Kedavra because he was possibly trying to kill Credence for betraying him. All these dark arts have like one thing in common, is the fact they're green. So it's obvious at this point, if Grindelwald was to blast a building, he'd be able to blast it apart and collapse it. Even if they're skyscraper type buildings, or maybe even a small mountain, one can argue he could erase a city block worth of buildings, like aka more than one building, even though it's confirmed that Dumbledore definitely has the edge when it comes to being slightly just a bit more skilled. One of the few beings that can actually match Albus Dumbledore, the legendary powerful wizard. But at the end of the day, all of this stuff could be just me. How strong do you think Grindelwald is? Do you think he's one of the mightiest wizards of all time in the Harry Potter wizarding world? Respect his power. But what do you guys think? Do you like him or Voldemort better? But before I get going, gotta quickly say thanks for the donations, everybody. It helps out a lot. Respect Grindelwald, though. I'm glad you are enjoying your time on the channel. Make sure you check out the playlist on the channel to see other How Strong videos. If you like what this channel is offering, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you guys later.